Hey everyone, welcome to the Marvel of Horror, where we talk all things past, present, and future as they pertain to the horror genre. I'm your host, friend, fellow horror enthusiast, Bruce Marvel, and this episode of the Marvel of Horror is extremely special. With us today is co founder and president of Troma Entertainment, writer and creator of the original Toxic Avenger, the legend himself, Lloyd Kaufman. He joins us on this episode to talk the Toxic Avenger, Sinners, which is a great new horror movie. Check it out. It's all the talk. And an obscure horror movie that some of you may or may not have seen. It's very disturbing. Mother's Day. We're also going to talk the reimagining of the Toxic Avenger, hitting theaters this August 29th. So if you like this episode, find the old ones. Find us on the Marvel of Horror on YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave your comments, and let's get into this.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Mr.
I'm two
Kaufman. How are
minutes.
you?
I'm great. You look great. I love your set, though. Your museum,
Thank you,
beautiful.
thank you. Real quick, I just want to let you know I already started recording. Just not to throw any kind of
Yeah, don't
spurs your
erase it.
way.
That's the main thing. You guys are going to, you hold on to that tape, right? Send it out to in my archives. My archives are right next to Stan Lee's archives in Oklahoma. So
Okay.
don't throw any of that away. This could be, who knows? I could die right now while we're talking.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Oh my God, that
No,
would be
it feels
terrible.
good. This feels good.
But like I said, real quick before we get into everything, Mr. Kaufman,
They
thank you.
call me Uncle Lloyd or Lloyd.
Call you. Do you prefer Uncle
Uncle
Lloyd?
Lloyd is good.
Uncle Lloyd? Okay,
If you want.
I can
Fart
do
face
that.
works.
I
Fart
can
face
follow simple
has been
instructions.
used. What's that?
I said I can follow simple instructions. Uncle Lloyd, it is, sir.
No, it's whatever you want.
No, like I said, thank you, Lloyd. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. You're a legend to a lot of people and a lot of people who watch the show. So again, like you taking time out to do this, like we all really appreciate it. And
Thank, thank you.
no,
Thank you.
no problem, no problem. And I will jump right into it. I won't waste any of your time, sir.
No, no, go right ahead, please.
So I kind of always start off the same way, and I know like Trauma, a lot of the movies from Troma, they have like horror elements, even though a lot of the time they can be categorized as, kind of spoof, dark comedy, this and that. They have a lot of horror elements. Were you a fan of the horror genre prior to starting to get involved with these films? And if so,
Well, no, I was very ignorant, as you can tell by the fact that the Toxic Avenger was totally cut off at the legs by the Motion Picture Association of America. I didn't know, I had not seen a lot of horror films, but I
okay.
did see The Thing after Toxic Avenger was mutilated and careers were cut off at the knees. The Thing came out before Toxic Avenger and had blood and guts and realistic crap, but it was released by a major studio. So every Troma movie has been emasculated before it could go to the theaters. And I'm very bitter about that.
Yeah, no,
And
I
my
mean,
brother, Charles Kaufman, who was probably, he made what is, I believe, the best movie in the Troma's 52 years, Mother's Day, which is indeed a masterpiece. Eli Roth even showed it as bar mitzvah. And
yeah, oh yeah.
it's a great movie. And it was totally trashed by the Motion Picture Association of America. And it's a classic. You look at it today, compared to what's on Netflix or Prime
Yeah.
or
I mean,
you got
Mother's
porn, you got
Day, to your
hardcore
credit,
porn there. I can't believe it. It's
no,
amazing.
I agree. I mean, like I've seen Mother's Day, and yeah, it's to me, it's a tough movie to watch because the subject matter, which makes it scary. But like, I mean, that might as well be a Disney movie compared to Terrifier 2 and
Yeah, no
Terrifier
kidding.
3.
And it's a real film. It's got a script and good characters.
Yeah.
And my brother and I lived it. And we are going to be reunited on July 23rd, I believe it is, in or 23rd in San Diego. the Kaufman brothers have not been filmed together ever, and we will have a back-to-back Toxic Avenger and Mother's Day screening, and our mother, who is on whom the Mother's Day is going to appear for the audience who shows up.
Oh man, wow.
It'll be
That's
great.
that is that is
Breaking news.
pardon my French, that is fucking awesome. That is super
Well, it
cool.
is for the Troma fans. It is, it's a big deal. In fact, the theater is already almost sold out. It's not till the 23rd. So
Like
Charles Kaufman,
well, like I said, you know what I mean, Troma fans are very passionate, they're very loyal. I'm hearing like a lot of like I honestly can't wait for the new Toxic Avenger. I mean, it's getting a lot of buzz. You know, I was gonna kind of get into that, but like we kind of bring it up. I mean, this new Toxic Avenger film, you know,
yeah. Oh
you being
boy.
the creator of the Toxic Avenger, like how did this film like come about? Like, were you approached and
Well, we had been approached several times on the Toxic Avenger, and by mainstream. And as you know, whenever an independent artist breaks through the hymen of the mainstream, it's the independent artist who gets fucked. So
yeah,
this time we got a good partner, Legendary, who approached us, and I gave them what I hoped they would do with Toxie to make it memorable, not just remake the movie. Uh, uh, and they got a great director. I couldn't believe it, Macon Blair. If I had to think of somebody perfect for the movie, and then to have the imagination, on a $50 million gamble to have Peter Dinklage playing the Toxic
yeah.
Avenger. I mean, I'm in heaven. Let me tell you. And I can't take any credit for the movie, other than I give Macon notes, and we would mainly talk about film just generally because we both love movies. But it's his movie. I had nothing to do with it, other than I did pay my way to what the hell was that place? Whatever it is, where they filmed the film that
Oh,
used to be.
I think I forget what festival. It was shown at a
No,
festival.
no, it was when I was filming.
Oh,
Fuck, they got very good food and very attractive women, and it used to be a satellite of Soviet Union. And at any rate, I paid my way over there and back 18 hours so I could force Macon Blair to give me a. I may have just nullified my NDA, but fuck it. He gave me a very nice cameo, and I
we
met
can
a
edit
lot of
that,
the
sir, if we need
actors.
to.
All of the stars are major fans of the original Toxic Avenger, in which a young boy's head gets crushed by the wheel of an automobile. They love that movie. And in my opinion, the new movie by Macon Blair is better. And all of the actors who I've met are Troma fans, but they really think that Macon has made a masterpiece, way above Troma. And it should be very, very successful. Intelligent people as well as crazy young Troma fans should enjoy it very, very much. And Troma fans actually are very, very intelligent. And the Legendary did those focus groups, and the 90% on every one of the focus groups. And then they did some Troma focus groups, same thing. So the Troma fans love this film. And I can't wait for Macon, because I think he's going to be up there with James Gunn, who is a Troma alumnus. And of course, you might see me in one of his new films.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
that's like
maybe.
say well, I hope like, James Gunn's background. He started what did you both start work together on Romeo and Juliet, correct?
Yeah, well, we did a lot of good stuff prior to that. Where James
Okay.
wrote, we had a television show in England, and James wrote skits, which we wrote them together. But the best ones he wrote about hamsters and hilarious little pieces, and they're in the Troma Edge TV Blu-ray, I think, or one of our TV shows. But at any rate, he was great, and I had spent 5 years trying to put together Romeo and Juliet in every possible iteration, and failed miserably. But James came along. I read his book, which he had written at Columbia, called The Toy Collector, and it was funny and dark and very James Gunn, and it did get published when James became more prominent. And it's wonderful. At any rate, clearly he was talented. So I asked him to, take a whack at. Here's $100. He says it was only $100. I say it was at least 150. And I can't tell you how many. What they called it. Anyway, there were no hand jobs. No, I did not give hand jobs. But
No NDAs, no hand
at any
jobs.
rate, anyway, and James came back with a really good, solid script that made sense. He had too many urination scenes, and I, being a very, very, a very mainstream producer, I cut it down to three, I think.
You gotta love that, like especially with modern cinema. It's like, hey, we're okay with you butchering a bunch of kids, but way too many urinal spots.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing. Well, the MPAA slaughtered that one too. And well, we brought the film to the St. Louis Film Festival because that's where James is from. And we figured, oh, it's a homecoming for James Gunn. And that fucking newspaper just destroyed the film,
Oh,
didn't get it at all. And harsh beginning.
yeah,
And
and
then, of course,
narrated
when
by
we put it,
Lemmy. How can you not love it? I mean, right there, it should just be.
well, the mistake there was Lemmy rewrote some of James's dialogue, and
Oh,
that was I should not have let that happen. Also, I should have given Lemmy subtitles because he has the most lines in Romeo and Juliet and can't understand what he's saying. But from then on, I think we did put in subtitles for Lemmy. He's in the bay. He was a sweet guy. I know James, I think, still may bear a grudge. And I don't, it's my weakness as a producer. We should have stuck to James Gunn's script, and which in fact was more to what Shakespeare would have wanted. I think Lemmy made the script more what Lemmy wanted.
yeah. I could. I mean,
Well,
I'm a
I
Motorhead
was
fan, but
weak,
I could totally see that.
my fault. I'm a milksop. Made a lot of mistakes as a in fact, I'm editing one right now called "The Power of Positive Murder," which is uh, total abortion. Which I do. We do support abortion, but not the ones that are 24 frames a second, which I think I'm on the road to editing right now. Power of Positive Murder. It's very much inspired by Crime and Punishment and the Raskolnikov character, Sonia, blah blah blah.
All right. Well, that's
Very
well.
happy slapstick movie in black and
I'll
white.
be. I will be on the lookout for that. And yeah, like I said, if I ever get the privilege of meeting James Gunn, I'll have to ask him about the Lemmy thing.
Well, he's the best thing in. No, we worked together in subsequent Troma movies. He's in Citizen Toxic. He's terrific,
Yeah.
and a number of others, and Lemmy too. Lemmy's in about 8 of them.
Oh, no
Lemmy,
shit.
where are you? Where are you now?
So I am I live in Delaware. I live in Newark, Delaware. My room here, the study, as I like to call it, I put this together because I love like the old Universal horror films and I love like the old Hammer horror films. And I was like, I wanted a room that looked like Peter Cushing's Van Helsing collected comic memorabilia, and this is kind of what I got.
That's great. That's great. Fantastic.
Well,
Terrific,
thank you.
as we
Well, thank
say
you.
in Tromaville. Yeah, it's great.
Well, like I said, like going back to, I mean, this movie coming out, like I said, it's getting a lot of positive buzz. I can't wait to see it. I think it looks great. It looks like it's the perfect. It still has that like homage to the old film to me. Like the old film, like when you were writing that character, like was there any kind of like, you co-founded in 1974. The film comes out in 1984, but I'm guessing the film was probably filmed a couple years before that. Was there any kind of comic book characters that you were specifically spoofing for this movie, or just like how
Well, no, that's
did
a
the
good,
character
very
come together?
that you speak to the core of Troma because when I was at Yale, I learned nothing other than drugs and introduction to Marvel comics.
There you
Well,
go.
I took
Okay.
some Chinese studies and I got a degree. I know that, but the drugs were great because they were free,
It's the best kind.
and I knew the rich kids would get good stuff. And the comic books blew my mind. And right after I got out of college, I tracked down Stan Lee, and he wasn't the big time Stan Lee then. He was it was magazine management over on Madison Avenue, and he lived very close to my father and stepmother. And I attached myself to Stan Lee, and the Toxic Avenger is obviously based on Spider-Man and Stan Lee. In fact, Stan Lee, in one of the introductions to one of my books, he says the same way that Spidey put a new superhero a face on the comic book superhero, Toxie puts a new face on the superhuman movie hero. Like Spidey takes care of his mother, and Spidey takes care of his aunt. And so Toxie's true to his girlfriend. He's straight edge. He's got problems with school. Toxie's got terrible skin problems, obviously. So the two are very related, except Toxie's got the amazing mop, the high tech mop, which
Yeah.
uh,
Don't forget the half ballerina too.
oh yeah,
That's
the
important.
tutu. That's right. It was that was Gay Terry, who was one of the writers originally, and she wrote the Toxic 2 and Toxic 3. She wrote those two. She suggested that the tutu should be burned up in the acid that Toxie falls into, so he's always wearing a tutu. So brilliant, right? It's great.
Well, so my first introduction to the Toxic Avenger was actually my parents were strict. Like we weren't allowed to watch anything. Like we were only really allowed to watch like cartoons and like super over the top like Arnold and Rambo movies. They were all about like violence, but like boobs and horror they were not for. So it took me
Well,
a long time to finally be able to watch the Toxic Avenger. But I remember having like getting the toy from the cartoon. Like the cartoon was actually my first introduction to that character. But I mean, years had passed, and I finally
yeah,
got my hands on it. And
those cartoons were grooming the young boys. They were grooming the boys to
well, yeah, I
go
mean,
on
here
to
here I
the
am.
film that was chopped off at the knees, which is a fucking American iconic movie at this point. That fucking mainstream. It killed my brother's career and Michael Hers and my career. I'm so distraught. I'm looking for some vodka right now. I hope you don't want it. Going to have just a touch. I don't. It helps my cold. All righty. So keep going. We were having a good
Oh yeah,
discussion here.
but no, do you think like with this, because I this is kind of what I feel, and what I mean, I think this new film, I mean, do you predict like this is just going to bring in, it's going to introduce like a whole new generation to the old films, and just see like this, there's going to be
Well,
this whole
you
like
know,
class of people that goes back and watches these old films and a Troma
you want
boom.
some of this? You want me to? You want a glass of this?
No,
You
I'm good.
thirsty?
I got
Oh,
I
you're
got
okay.
something.
All right. Good.
I appreciate the offer. Cheers to you, sir.
Thank you. I'm just having a little water. Uh, hold on one more second, please.
No problem. I got
All right,
plenty
here
of
we go.
time.
Well, actually, I just did a tour up in Canada of three cities in British Columbia, and they were packed with the original Toxic Avenger, and the theaters were full. It was unbelievable, all three of them, and now more theaters up there. But they want me to come and be Willie Loman, which I enjoy, but it's harder and harder to,
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Well, I'll
And
get there. Hopefully
I've
I'll
got
get there one day.
Well, that would be great. Charlotte Kaufman, by the way, was sorry, that's my private helicopter. Charlotte Kaufman, she who had a movie at Sundance this year called The Alabama Solution. She has a wedding on so- Friday, so been a lot of hustle and bustle in my household. Trying to find ancestral veils. And my wife is a Southern Belle. There's a lot of history.
Okay.
Trying to locate who who has a cousin may have this ancient veil worn by a female slave owner from down south. It's great. Any rate,
Oh,
we're
wow.
talking about First Amendment. Yes,
Hey, say judgment free zone here. You say, like you said, First Amendment protected. You say what you want to say, sir.
we all must. And the thing that's a disgrace is this tragedy in Texas with the 200 people dying or missing,
Yeah.
but missing and dying or more, and all of the people, the FEMA and the from the bottom, from the low level to the high level, all these guys. Don't you think the cut in the weather prediction department, does that have any effect here with a better warning system? Well, we all pulled together. It went great, and blah, blah. And the next guy up. So nobody said fuck Trump. Nobody. They were also scared to lose their fucking jobs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disgrace. They had for a few bucks. They could have had speakers on bamboo sticks. It would have cost the community nothing. But they probably
Mhm.
built a football stadium or something for the Care Gas and Electric Company.
Yeah.
Something honor Mr. Care, who's got a probably has highways named after him.
And there was a
I don't
lot
know
of
who Mr.
kids too,
Care is.
wasn't it?
I don't have a
Because
care
there's
in
like
the
it was
world.
what, like a campground. I feel like a lot of kids were victims
Yeah, it was
of correct?
terrible, and it maybe Trump should stop cutting back things like the meteorology department that predicts things like this, and also they should have had a decent warning system. It's not like that river hasn't flooded before. And it went all the way up to the top guy, and they all said, "Yeah, we were blah 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 blah." It's okay. Yeah, nobody was upset about the uh, department being cut. And then the governor, Abbott, uh, says something. He says, yeah, well, actually, in some cases, it was good that people didn't have a warning. More people might have died. I mean, he like turned the whole fucking thing around. I mean, we are living in Mixel-Pix, Superman's Mixel-Pix world.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
like I said, the older I get, the more I just feel like um the novel 1984 was just like a documentary, and now we're kind of there.
Yeah, Twilight Zone.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So many. Yeah, I know that the new Superman is going to be dealing with social issues in a
I did.
good
Well, yeah,
mainstream way.
I caught some of like what James got because like I said, I was never like a huge Superman guy, but like as I've gotten older and I like got like the past, like even Snyder's Superman, I thought was like really good. I'm really excited to see this one. Um, and yeah, I mean, I know he was talking about it, like Superman's, like this movie's kind of inadvertently dealing with some of like the immigration issues. So, I mean, like I want to see how it all plays out. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm really
Bertolt
glad
Brecht,
James
Bertolt Brecht.
Gunn's turning DC around over there.
Yeah, it's going. That film is going to get a lot of people. I think having great entertainment, and also it's going to say something. That's what film should be. It should be, the heart, soul, and the brain of the filmmaker. And James Gunn can brilliantly do that and keep it within the permissible mainstream, whatever. It's brilliant.
No,
Bertolt
absolutely.
Brecht said that the way to fight fascism is humor, 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 humor. That's how you fight it. And I think Superman's probably going to have a lot of action packed and humorous from what I've,
I mean,
from
that's
being on
Charlie
set and all
Chaplin
that
tried to
stuff.
teach us that. You know what I mean?
What?
I said Charlie Chaplin tried to teach us.
Yeah, they blacklisted him. The great dictator was considered a commie. That's unbelievable. And
Yeah,
the characters that you wouldn't expect to be so right wing. John Ford, and I know
yeah,
John Wayne was a right wing guy, but some of the most open minded artists. They were so right wing. The mother of Ginger Rogers was literally, and Mussolini's son was invited to have dinner at an honored dinner at were given by the head of one of the studios, and studio heads, the son of Benito Mussolini.
yeah.
Can you imagine?
We know
He was
it's
embraced.
crazy.
Fascists were embraced, and then when it turned, and they turned on the commies who were against it just went nuts.
Well, it's
Anyone who
you
was
know,
against the fascists, anyone who was
I tell people.
anti-fascist was a
I tell
commie.
people all the time when they want to when they want to see this, if they really want to like kind of see the state of things today. Like I said, this is my opinion. They really want to see the state of the things today. Keep in mind what we know now today about Hoover, because Hoover had a lot to do with Chaplin getting blacklisted. His name's still on that fucking building. Like you would have thought 10 years ago when all like 10 the last 10 and 20 years with all the things they discovered about Hoover and how he just did a witch hunt on people he didn't like using that commie thing. They would have, the stuff he did to Martin Luther King with listening to him and all this
Yes.
stuff like basically what they started doing after 9/11 they were doing before 9/11,
Yeah.
recording people when they had no right to do it, spying on people, this and that, all proved by Hoover, done by Hoover. His name is still on that fucking building.
I know. I know. I agree. When I see it on the news, I keep thinking, when are they going to take the name off? I mean, they've taken Fort Bragg off and on, and
Yeah,
can't make up their mind. But Hoover was a total fascist,
yeah.
100%. We shot Mother's Day in the Delaware Gap, my brother's movie, the Delaware Gap, and Dan the Tromite, Daniel Blake lives there, and
Really?
he's a Troma team family member, Daniel Blake, Dan the Tromite on social, great guy.
Okay.
At Dan, at Dan the Tromite.
I
Yeah,
will.
he's a great guy,
Oh man, I'll see if
and very
I'll
talented.
contact him. That'd be great because, like I said,
Yeah, get
Mother's
in
Day is
touch.
one of those movies doesn't get a. I don't know. Like it's one of those. To me, it's one of those like popular horror,
Yes.
like indie. Yeah, not indie. That's the kind of wrong word, but it's one of those horror movies that like it is very scary and it is very disturbing, but it doesn't get the talk like The Hills Have Eyes and all the other real big major movies that were disturbing too. Like it just doesn't. I guess it just doesn't get enough like credit. Really, it is a disturbing movie.
Well, disturbing. There's a whole genre. There's disturbing movies. There's body horror too. That's disturbing. That's a genre apparently. But if you want to see something disturbing, and that you will anytime you cross about a border, check out Border, the movie Border, and
Order?
it's a Swedish director, Ali. He did another one which I got to see. Got the word Phoenix, I think, or something. Anyway, he's brilliant. It's brilliant, and you'll think twice next time you go through customs. In fact, you'll never go through customs the same way again. How's that?
Well, I think um the first Hostel movie was made me not want to travel outside the U.S.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, okay,
yeah. Well, you never know. Now everybody hates us thanks to Queen Trump,
yeah.
right? You get booed, and I'm going up my daughter has a film, Occupy Can, Lily Hayes Kaufman, which was selected by Fantasia. It's on the cover of Fangoria, but it was
Okay.
selected by Fantasia, and they've invited her and me. And by the way, Occupy Can is the last on-screen credit of the great Roger Corman, who obviously was a great mentor for me and a friend for 50 years. And
And yeah, like
I
Roger
regret that we never
Corman.
worked together, but it's his last on-screen credit. Occupy Can. And Julie and he were kind enough to be executive producers for Lily Hayes. And I know Roger would have gotten a kick out of Occupy Can, as you will. You will love it.
I'll
It's really
definitely check
cool.
it out. Like I said, Roger Corman, some of my favorite horror films are the Roger Corman, um, Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe films. I love those films.
Yes, the Poe movies. If you watch those Poe trilogy movies on a big screen in 35 millimeter or with good DCP, they're
Yeah.
like watching an art film. It's like watching Claude Chabrol a movie. They're beautiful. They're
They
great.
look
He got
amazing.
them in like 6 days and 5 days, and he's got stars and talented people. He was a genius, really.
Like I said, like I said, I love Vincent Price, and I love those Roger Corman films. And my favorite is I try and watch it like once a year. It's hard for me now because I have a 2 year old, so my time is very
It's
limited.
time for the Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders.
But
But you're on the right track. No, my wife didn't let our kids see any Troma movies until they were well over 82. No, 45. No. Actually, at 12 years old, she permitted them to see Cannibal the musical, and
wow,
then we went to Switzerland and climbed mountains, which is what my wife does. And they sang the sky is blue and all the trees are gray and my heart is full like a baked potato, and all through the Swiss Alps. But that was it. They didn't get to see anything Troma, and other than cartoons and Toxie merchandise. But then they went to college, and when they went to Harvard and Yale and Columbia and
you
the
were corrupted
bougie
there.
friends they had, suddenly, what? You father made terror? You are in terror firmer? Wow, Lloyd Kaufman. I don't, and you get married, and you had a standing ovation at Sunday. Wow, this is great. No, that was not when she was in college, but our daughters discovered that they were Troma fans at Harvard, Yale, Columbia, wherever, and Duke. They went to Duke too, and so they managed to be somewhat, and they're doing well. As I told you, Lily Kaufman, Occupy Can, Lisbeth Kaufman, environmental expert and fighting the environmental terrorists like Exxon Oil, and then the beautiful Charlotte Kaufman. It was fighting prison, the disgrace of American prison system, but something
Yeah.
that you can see in movies 100 years ago. Same issue. In fact, 1947, Brute Force with Burt Lancaster. That's almost 100 years old. But there's stuff before that where you see people were treated in the prison. It's just as bad now, maybe worse. It's like a Victorian zoo. It's
Yeah,
awful. Anyway, the Alabama solution. When you see
yeah, like
Alabama
I said,
solution,
the pay for prisons have just been. I mean, pay for prisons have been a problem for a long time, and a lot of those states that have these pay for prisons, they're like
yes, very
big
bad.
time. They're big
Yes.
time lobbyists about not legalizing marijuana on a federal level because then they're not going to be able to lock fucking people up.
Hey, horror fans. Help support the Marvel of Horror podcast by going to our merch shop and getting one of our exclusive items.
Do you make movies?
No, I'm just a fan of movies. Like I said, I love horror movies. That's kind of like my bread and butter. I would love to be able to make movies. I kind of when I think back on my life, I think I really kind of messed up not really thinking about film school when I was in high
Oh,
school.
you did not mess up. It's a horrible life. Now, tell me, what would be a couple of films that you were really inspired by as horror, or films in general, horror or any film?
Well, like the one of my all-time and I mean one of my all-time favorite movies, if not my all-time favorite movie, was has always been Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That was like a movie I saw when
Oh,
I was a kid.
wait, just hold on to your horses. The Rowan Collection. Andrew can send a DVD to you. But the
Okay.
Rowan Collection, we own about 300 negatives, the best preprint materials. And we have Abbott and Costello. Which one did you say again?
Meet Frankenstein has always
Yes,
been my
I
favorite.
believe we have that, and it's a pristine. It's a DVD taken on pristine 35 millimeter preprint material, and we may have. I think we may have filmed a little something with one of the New York newspaper critics, but I don't know. Anyway, Andrew, we got to remember to. You got to email me, lloydk@troma.com, and we'll try to
Sir.
get it out of our basement. It's called the Rowan, Roan, about 300 titles.
That's
And they're the best, they're all public domain, but they're the best preserved negatives of this collection. Cary Rowan was a rich guy in North Carolina who collected negatives and public domain negatives. And a lot of people have our negatives. Every once in a while, somebody puts it up on PayPal, on eBay.
that's just it's like, man, that's so cool. That's like a cool piece to have. I mean, I would, I
Well,
wouldn't be
like,
putting any of those things on eBay. I would be keeping them big time. That's
well,
something
I got,
to
I, I
have.
got a pristine, 35 millimeter festival print of Mother's Day from the guy who runs Synapse Video. Great company, really good. We don't, they have, they're smart. They don't distribute Troma, but they're great. They're terrific. And the guy who runs it, his name slips my mind now, but I've known him a long time. Great guy. He said he would like to have a line in Citizen Toxie. I would have paid him, but I kept my mouth shut. He said in return, he would give us a pristine copy of Mother's Day, my brother's film. And indeed, he's in the film. He's got a line. And we ended up with a pristine festival print, 35 millimeter of Mother's Day. Thank you, laboratory people. A lot of the labs went out of business, and our prints were purloined by collectors. Also, the other problem we have is not the projectionist going on strike, but the projectionist cutting out, things like the head crushing out of the Toxic Avenger 35 prints. So, we don't want to send out 35 prints because most of them have already been sold off from the bankrupt laboratories or storage places. And DCP, at least it looks good and hasn't been chopped up by a projectionist. Or if it is, at least, projectionists can have some fun destroying a DCP. I don't know how you do that, but
Well, I mean, that's a shame, man. That's a shame. You got to now you got to be super paranoid sending those things out. I mean, I thought it was just like the nude scenes that you had to worry about them cutting and keeping for themselves.
no, those unfortunately a lot of it depends on the film, but in some cases, whatever the MPAA cut, once we got the R-rated approval, we put back the stuff. Uh, but the problem is, they still, we can't go too far with that. We got caught with blood-sucking freaks, 95-minute director's cut, and we released a 55-minute R-rated. We got an R-rated approval for 55 minutes, but then we just put the footage back and we in the release prints, and they caught us. A woman up in the Bronx took her 5-year-old kid to see a movie called Bloodsucking Freaks,
Oh,
rated R. Rated R. Why would you
sometimes
take a? Why would you take any kid to see Blood? So why would you take anybody? Period. Why would you even go
I
to go
mean,
Blood Freak? Title, I wouldn't go see that.
listen, I'm not parent of the year. I mean, going back to kind of what we were talking about, like I'm very
No, you
careful.
sound like a good parent. You're a good
Well,
parent.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I appreciate that. I do. I'm trying to like I'm very conscious of what I even have on like in the background when he's around because kids are sponges. Like you might not think they're paying attention, but they are. But I'll never forget. I mean, there was one. This was I think this was like 2007 or whatever this movie came out. Me and my wife and a buddy of mine, we go to see the new Rambo film. And this was um the one at the end where Sylvester Stallone is just with the 50 caliber gun, like just mowing people down for like the
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah. It
15,
was a
20
good
minutes of
one.
the movie. I mean, that's a pretty hardcore movie to be in a mainstream theater, at least for that time.
Well,
And
it probably got a G rating.
well, we're sitting there, and this mom has like two kids. I mean, I don't think they were older than 10. I'm like,
Well, there
what?
you go. Well, that's the mainstream for you.
But that's
We had a theater. Sugar Cookies was, which is our version of Vertigo with lesbians.
okay.
Very good. Boring. It's boring, but Oliver Stone was one of the producers, and Warhol gave us a few people. Uh, but it's boring. But with that was Bloodsucking Freaks, and at the time, Sugar Cookies was X-rated, which is absurd. But now it's like the director's cut would be PG, maybe. But at any rate, there were little children, like babies and 2-year-olds in the audience for blood-sucking freaks. This was Times Square. What the heck are they thinking? You
Like you
know,
said, I got no.
Jesus Christ. I mean, really, I guess it was air conditioned, maybe, but there are other movies on 42nd Street. Water Power was a good one. No violence, but good. Well, even that's not so good for kids.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
mean,
some of the porn that was trying to remember. Swedish Minx, that was okay. That wasn't bad. They could go in there and get air conditioning, but now it's too late. That was 1977. Any rate,
I hear my buddy Neil Voges, tells me stories all the time about when he was a kid, going up from being from Jersey, going up, staying all day, because you could see a lot of like the double feature like Hammer movies, which I
mm,
also love. They're also like movies I've been turned on to in the last like 25 years that I
was he?
love.
Is he a movie buff? Is he
He's a
like
huge
a?
movie buff.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I was at Yale, the New York Times would publish a whole page of every movie playing in town, and they'd
Yeah.
they'd list the 42nd Street double features, and we would come down to see Dirty, what the hell, a Take Arnett movie, or they would show Sons of Katie Elder with a Samuel Fuller movie, in 35 millimeter. Yeah, it is a big deal. We'd run down to see this stuff, and then I'd stay at my mother's,
Yeah.
and whatever. Speaking of new movies, uh, Sinners is
I saw Sinners.
oh, it's great. It's terrific. I
I
mean,
thought it
I
was
couldn't
really
believe
good.
it.
I
It's
thought
it,
it was
it
really good.
oh, it's brilliant. Good God, it's amazing. Everything about it, and so original and clever and realistic and crazy all at the same time. It pulls you in every direction.
It's
Irish brogue singing same place, and they're white. That's great, terrific.
it was a totally fresh take on like an old concept. You got a die-hard fan base that ain't going anywhere anytime soon. If anything, this remake movie is just gonna strengthen it and
Well,
make
it's
it
very
grow.
good. Yes, the remake, the reimagining. It's
Reimagining,
it's
I'm
a
sorry.
total. It's making Blair's Toxic Avenger, and it's better. It's better than the original. I guarantee you.
I
It's
why I
better
can
than the
I
original. You
trust
can
you.
quote me. You
I
have an
trust you.
exclusive. You have exclusive now. I
Yeah.
haven't seen this, but
Well, didn't they? I
Nathan
saw
Blair's Toxic Avenger is better than Troma's Toxic Avenger.
I saw something and I don't know if this is true or not. I saw something recently, but wasn't it might even have been today. It was a post. That like didn't they already did they already screen this at a panel, and the panel, like the fans that went to the panel said this is the best movie they've seen of 2025. I could have
Yes,
sworn I saw that recently.
that was at the recent group of seven in Canada. Seven
Okay.
major economies met, and they screened it,
Okay.
and went over very well, apparently.
That's good. Like I said, I can't wait. I mean, I can't wait to see it. And I know like I have so many friends I know who are Troma fans, been
Oh,
Troma
good.
fans forever.
I'll
They're like
send
really
them.
excited.
I would love to know what your fans think. Lloyd K at Troma.com, LLOYD That is spelled double LLOYDK. Don't forget the K. At Troma.com. I'd love to know what kind of reaction you get and what you have, both from your fans and you.
I totally, I totally will. I totally will. And you will get that. And I believe it hits theaters July 25th. Is that correct?
29th.
29th.
But
Okay.
there's something going on at San Diego Comic-Con. Troma
Okay.
has a booth. We've had a booth there for a long time. But now they're going to premiere. I think they have a red carpet for Macon Blair's the reimagining of Toxic Avenger.
I
So
mean,
San Diego Comic Con's, I think, going to be like the sort of real premiere for the
yeah,
fans.
it's like getting the Marvel movie treatment. This is fantastic. I'm very excited for you. I'm very excited for Trauma fans. Like I said, I can't wait to see it. It's about time we got I don't know, it's about time we got something. It's about time we got a reimagining that, like, from what I've seen of the trailer, and like I said, I just actually got done watching the Toxic Avenger to prepare for this. I mean, I've seen it
Oh,
before,
thank you.
but I
Thank
wanted to
you.
rewatch it. And I mean, from what I've seen of that and the trailer, it just looks like the perfect blend of like new, fresh take, but it's still paying so much homage to the style of the original film. And I think that's great. And that's just from what I saw of the trailer. And that's like my so I can't wait to see this movie. I'm actually hoping, like, if I can get a babysitter, I can go see it in the theater like it should be seen. And I recommend everyone else go see it. And everyone should see a Troma film at least. Come on. Even if it's not your thing, you got to see it. You got to see a Troma film at least one time.
Well, you can
Nothing
go to
like them.
Troma now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. God damn it. Troma Now, the hot new streaming service. Well, it's been there for 15 years. It's 52 years of Troma movies, and every month, about 6 to 12 new movies and shorts are there. And all the movies that Troma has made uh, up to fairly recent times are there, as well as the behind the scenes documentaries about the making of movies like Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, Poultry in Motion. It's if you're a film student, you get more from that behind the scenes than you would from a year $100,000 USC film school. But enough of that. The main thing is Troma Now is free. You get it for a month. Shut that bird up. You get a month for God damn it. Sorry, there's somebody with a
No
bird
problem.
duck hunting here in Manhattan. Uh, the main thing is you get the month free, and then it's only $4.95 a month, and you're supporting all these independent filmmakers, and you're going to see movies like Hibachi, number 1, 2, and 3, and movies that aren't Troma movies, but are buried treasure. Wait till you see the Miranda. What is it? The Miranda murders. The Miranda murders. Oh man, what a movie! At any rate, I got to go now because there's an early bird special at the diner, and they have the best oatmeal. And we old people, we got to get up to. We don't want to go have dinner late. Whoops.
Well,
So
Lloyd, again,
I
thank
gotta
you so much
go.
for joining me. You will definitely get anything we get reactions and stuff why with the Marvel of Horror, we'll put that on the site. I'm pumped for this
Well,
movie.
thank you so much.
Congratulations.
You got my email, so I'd love to hear from you directly. And you've got Andrew's information, and we could send you links to Mr. Melvin, probably. It's up to Andrew and the Troma team.
Awesome. Sir, I appreciate
That's
that.
that's over. All righty. Well, talk to you soon, and thank you so much.
No problem. Thank
Really
you. And
appreciate it.
again, thank you for doing this. And Toxic Avenger reimagining looks great. July 29th. Thank you so much, sir.
No, no, it's August 29th.
August 29th.
July 31st is the world premiere of Occupy Can at
Gotcha.
Fantasia. But July
Fix that in
24th
editing.
will be the red carpet for the Toxic Avenger at San Diego Comic Con. Anyway, you can get all that stuff on the San Diego Comic Con. and I'll be at the Troma booth at San Diego Comic Con, and enjoying the love of the Troma fans. We got
Awesome.
about 8 of them this year. Terrific! It's unbelievable. All right. Well,
It's
thank you
seven
very
more than
much.
watch the, it's seven more people than watch the show.
Yep, I'm taking my laundry right now, as a matter of fact. So behave yourself, and Toxie loves you very much, loves Delaware, and I hope you come to New York. We got guest rooms. The
That'd be
children
great.
are all over the place. So if you
Let me
come to
know.
New
Let me
York,
know if you ever come film in Delaware.
well, keep in
Crash here
touch.
for free.
You never know. You never know.
We're not that
Thank you.
far.
Thanks again. All righty.
All
Best
right.
wishes.
Take
Bye
care, sir.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.